Oh, boy.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I hope you can see us and hear us. We have these funny things growing out of our head, but they're such cute little ears. They have cute little ears like those. I have one antler out. That's what you get for buying them at the dollar store. I tried them in the dollar store and they work fine, but this one antler is definitely out. I hope you can see. We're all there, so that's good. So, I don't know how many people will join us today since it is Christmas Eve. So, Merry Christmas to everybody, or whatever holiday you may be celebrating. Not everybody celebrates Christmas, but there's lots of celebrations of some sort this time of the year going on. So, who has joined us? We have Elsa. Elsa says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Elsa. Stacy is here. Stacy, is this your first time or have you been here before? I'm just trying to remember. Either way, it doesn't matter. You're welcome here. Marjorie is here, and Mozella, which is Deb, she is here. Safe travels to Georgia. Thank you, Deb. Julie Kuhn is here. It's cold and rainy in Arkansas. Well, it's kind of coolish,
It's
dampish,
cool and damp
damp
here.
and drizzly
Yeah.
here. No snow, just rain. Suzanne is here. Hello, Suzanne, and Glenna, and Pamela. And Karen B is here. And let's see, did I miss it? Patsy from Mississippi. Candace is here. Colleen's here. Hi, Colleen. Vivian is here in Alberta. Loane is here. Hello, Loane. Oh, Stacy says, been here, just didn't speak. Okay, well, that's your choice. You don't have to if you don't want to. Melissa is here. Hi, Melissa and Judy. Oh, Pamela says, so happy to see you today. Well, we're happy to read what you write today. We can't see you, of course. Stephanie's here. Hi, Stephanie. And Denise is here as well. Cheryl Mulder's here. Hubby's got the flu, so this is as out as I'll be getting this week. Oh, that's too bad, Cheryl. It's always not a nice thing when somebody in your family or yourself are sick at Christmas time. Laura is here. Nancy Lavature is here as well. So a few of you, because I'm kind of figuring it'll be a light tally today, because I imagine a lot of people have family things going on maybe tonight, or at least getting ready for tomorrow or whatever. We're not. Well, we're getting ready for tomorrow too, but because we're going to Georgia, but more about that later on. Denise says, I haven't kept up with anyone's Vlogmas, so I'm excited to catch your live. There's a lot of Vlogmases out there. It is hard to keep up with them all. Judy says, I'm excited as you all are for your retreat. Sue's here. Hi, Sue. Thanks, Sue. Denise is in Georgia with her kids, and they're cooking, so she's relaxing. Well, that's nice. Luane says, looking forward to tomorrow's unboxing. Have fun watching you two opening the presents. Yes, tomorrow will be our last one, Stephanie and mine. It'll be the last 5 items in the Missouri Star Quilt box. But, of course, 4 of those things, if you've been watching other people's YouTube videos about the unboxing, you probably now have seen them, because other people, unlike us, have been doing them, each day. But we didn't do it that way. Colleen says, you two are all lit up. I just noticed. Yes, except I have one antler set that have a loose wire. They're not lighting up. And I think these things change too. Like that's just the first setting. Where's the thing? Can't find it. You can do a slower one, then a solid. Okay, so there. I'll just leave them on that. So if you are an epileptic, do not stare at our heads. Let's see. If I missed any, Penny's here. Hi, Penny. Yep. Yeah, I know, Penny. Only one side's working, as I just said. Because there's a, dollar store thing. And the wire looks like it had never been attached, actually, but I didn't realize that. I did try these out in the dollar store, and they seemed to work. So maybe this was very loose and it pulled out. There's a little box with a switch on it up here on the back of one of these antlers, and there's a screw in it. And I thought about unscrewing the screw and see if I could open it up and fix the wire. But then I figured, yeah, probably the little plastic box will break or something like that. So better one working better one working antler than none at all. Walters, of course, are all working.
Stephanie wants to know if we're wearing them to Georgia.
Maybe. Maybe. We have other things. Never mind. Let's see. Julie says she likes the way that Stephanie and I have been unboxing stuff. Patsy likes the antlers and the ears. Yeah, Stephanie and I had a lot of fun doing that, but unfortunately, I have to rewatch them because I forget what was in the box. Because we did it way back at the first of the month, and we did it all in one fell swoop. So, Tamara's here. Hello, Tamara. And thank you, Tamara. John is here. John, have you been here before? I don't think you have, so welcome. Maxine's here. Merry Christmas. It is 8 a.m. Christmas morning down here in Australia. I'm ready for the day. So you guys have already started the big day down there. You get it first. Same as New Year's. So maybe a few more people joining us as we go through, but kind of a mishmash today about things. Just going to talk like we usually do. And feel free to, ask questions or put your 2 cents in worth, and maybe that'll put us off onto another avenue in all this discussion. But first of all, I have been working this week on another project. The thing was, I didn't want to start another major project before we went to Georgia because I'm taking 2 projects with me, and actually some little teeny kits that I discovered the other day that I've had for like about 3 years that make one block. It's one of those, it was a shop hop thing. And you got these little blocks. They were based on the Stonehenge fabrics, from Northcott. So yeah, it's about 3 years ago. And I bought several of these with my idea was, because I love that fabric, that I would put them all together as a quilt. Well, guess what? I only got a couple of them done. So I figured they might be nice little palette cleansers if I get too intense on what I'm working in with at the retreat. I could work on it. So anyways, this is what I have been working on. Let me just find it here. If I find my cursor, where's my cursor? It's up here somewhere. Always disappears. Here we go. Okay. So let me switch the camera. So I finished this top this week. It was very simple to do, pretty much. And it's not a Bargello, although it's got the feel of a Bargello. It's called Dart. It was a free pattern. I think it was from either Robert Kaufman or Riley Blake. I think it was Riley Blake. And I had a jelly roll that I wanted to use up, and this fit the bill quite nicely. It's got a very modern feel to it. So when I get back from Georgia and that one will go on Lucy, and I'll quilt it and finish that up. Now, you know how I've been talking about I have way too many quilts, right? Piled up. And what to do with them. Well, this is the year, 2024, when I'm really going to start giving away stuff. And I got asked to donate a quilt. Our next door neighbors were here a week ago or so, and we're showing them quilts and stuff like that. And they're members of our local senior citizens organization, and I guess that organization is having a silent auction at New Year's. And of course, they're always looking for donations for it. So he asked me if I would be willing to donate a quilt for the auction, and I said sure. So this is the one. I went through my stash, and this is the one that I'm donating. It's a Lone Star. I think I did this one in 2021, and well, according to my records, that's when I did do it. And I believe I took this as a class. I think I did. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I'm sure I did. Yeah, I did.
One, I think, with Sharon.
Yeah, I think it was with Sharon at Ultimate Sewing. Yeah. And I'd always wanted to do a Lone Star, and this one was okay to do. It wasn't as hard as it looks. It's kind of scrappy, although there is a little bit of organization to the way I picked the colors for it. And I think this one was one of my first quilts that I actually did on Lucy. And so I did this little spirally design around it. And so I have donated that one now to, and it'll be interesting to see if I can find out after the fact how much it went for. I might be disappointed. I don't know. But anyways, kind of breaks the ice. This past year in the summer, I donated a quilt to Valor, but I've got a bunch, as I've said, that I want to go through, the sets of them to find some that would be good for Project Linus as well. And I really want to make another quilt of Valor one. Actually, I have a couple in my stash of quilts that would be okay for Quilt of Valor as well. But baby steps for all of this. But anyways, I was kind of flattered that they asked. Okay, so they just want to make money for whatever. But used to be a member. I was a member, actually. You can't be a member until you've turned 55 or older. And I think it was in my very first year of retirement that I sort of joined up with them because I was taking some genealogy classes. There were more meetings because I was into genealogy at that point in time there. And then I taught some card making classes for them. And I did a thing on security, internet security for seniors. But I just found I didn't feel like I belonged. To be honest, I thought I was too young in it. Because, let's face it, a lot of those people that are members of it could be old enough to be pretty much my parents. They're in their 80s and that, which is great because, they're keeping themselves active and everything like that. So, that's a good thing. But anyways, yeah. I've looked at the courses they have now. Is there something that we could take? But Walter Poopaws it.
What?
About joining the senior citizen.
I don't care.
But I haven't really seen any courses that really have appealed to me. They're still running that genealogy thing, but I don't do that anymore. So, but anyways, let's just before we go on or talk a little bit about what Walter's been working on. What have you been working on, Walter?
I don't know. What have I been working on?
Well, you finished a bag.
Finished a couple of bags, and
we already showed the wine bag that you did, and the other one went out. The other two are gone for gifts.
Yeah, that's it. I was just working on preparing for going down to Georgia and stuff like that.
Yep, the devil going to Georgia. Yeah, so whatever. So let us talk a little bit about how things are going to work over the next little while. Now, this is kind of a repeat because we've already said it before. Next Wednesday and the Wednesday after, there will not be a Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen because both Stephanie and myself will actually be traveling at that point to Georgia and to get there. And then when the next Wednesday comes up, we'll be just getting home. Actually, we will probably just get home on that day. Stephanie might be home the day before, but you need to recover from the retreat. Especially Stephanie, because she's doing all this work, organizing it, getting things set up, doing all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure she'll want a little bit of a break. So we will resume Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen on Wednesday, January the 10th at 9 a.m. as usual. And all are welcome to join us for as long as you want to be there during the day, all day, part of the day, for an hour, whatever fits into your schedule. That's all fine and dandy. Come tomorrow, we will have the last unboxing with Stephanie and Stephen. Of the Missouri Star quilt box, and that's over with. And I think a lot of people are coming to the end of their Vlogmases as well. And I'm getting the distinct feeling that a lot of them are really pooped out. That's why I don't do it. I don't know if those of you that are not YouTube creators, I don't know how much work you realize goes in to having to produce a video every day for like 24 to 25 days in a row. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of mental work too, trying to come up with something. Because some vlogmases do more than just unboxing. It's like Shannon's been doing some little, kind of mini type tutorials about doing things or whatnot. So it's a lot of work, and I can hear it in their voices. And I think Russ is running out of jokes. I don't know about that. Maybe not. So let's see who is here that we have missed, and we'll catch up with people. And if I could get this thing to work. Oh, why do they put that bloody heart right in the worst of places? Okay, so let's see. Where did I leave off? No, read that. I got that. Oh, Debbie says she's resting and watching you guys before the evening's mayhem. Yep. Luane says maybe just be, but shouldn't. Maybe just be. Maybe it should be me, but shouldn't Santa live at the South Pole as he has to start at the bottom of the world? Well, I don't know. Next year when you write to him, you might drop that line in as a PS and find out for us. Julie says, enjoying a nice glass of wine and sewing scraps to batting. Okay, well, that sounds like a very pleasant evening. Nancy's here. Hi, Nancy. Merry Christmas to you, too. Charlotte is here. Landa is here. And thank you, Julie. Yeah, I thought it's not a huge quilt. It's a good-sized lap. It's not big enough to be used as a spread on a bed, but, I kind of figure in my way of thinking about these things is it's probably older people who are bidding on this, unless they're bidding on it so they can give it as a gift to somebody. I don't know. But, I think it would be a nice, comfortable quilt to curl up with, when you're watching TV or something like that. It's a good size for that. What else was I going to say about that? I had a thought and I went right out the window. This happens all the time. Dana says, thank you for your beautiful donation. Well, Dana, you're welcome. I didn't know you were a member of the Oshawa Senior Citizens group, but I get it. Dana gave us a little surprise the other day. On Thursday was our anniversary. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. Our 40th, and we had a lovely phone call from Dana, because Dana's out in Regina, Saskatchewan, wishing us a happy anniversary, which was, I thought, very nice of her. So thank you, Dana, for that. You made our day. Mona's here. Hi, Mona. Russ says, Merry Christmas Eve. Steve Walter and everyone. I'm just seeing if I can catch up. Pam says an auction is a great way to ensure it goes to someone that truly appreciates your work. Great choice. Very nice quilt. Okay, yeah, I didn't think about it like that, Pamela, but you're right. Somebody actually wants it if they're bidding on it. I hope more than one person wants it. I hope it makes them lots of money. Like I said, well, they got $50 for that. Okay. Of course, mind you, older people probably bidding on it, they probably know the value of it because who knows, probably a lot of them, at least ladies anyways, and maybe some of the gentlemen so they probably know, the price just for fabric alone for things.
No, not necessarily. A lot of people are a little, but...
Well, I suppose. I don't know. We'll find out. It's an interesting, it'll be an interesting experiment. Patsy says, don't be disappointed. Quilts at a silent auction to go for much. Past experience for me. Yeah, I have a feeling about that, Patsy. Because it's an auction. And so, you try to get the most value for the least amount of money.
I guess it also depends on how many people are there.
Well, that's true too. So, yeah, I'm not expecting that it'll get a lot. I hope it gets more than $50. Yeah, that would be very discouraging. But, it's not my quilt anymore. It's gone out into the world. So it is what it is. I'm just looking here, trying to catch up. Landa says, you must wear your headpieces to the retreat. Well, I don't know if we'll take these ones, but that doesn't mean there won't be something on our head on New Year's Eve. But enough said about that. Southern Haters here. Hello, Southern. Vivian is here. Stephen, please tell us how you two met, etc. You're such a great team. 40 years. Wow, we have 61, but he's not trained yet, so I think I'll keep him for several more years. Well, Vivian. Okay.
Just to make it easy.
Yeah, just to make it easy.
Yeah, he advertised in the Toronto Star newspaper for a companion, and I answered it.
Yeah. Now, mind you, he wasn't the first choice. I had several. A friend of mine had done this, and I thought it was kind of tacky to put in something in the personal column. And he said, no, actually, he said, you'll be surprised. And he said, the thing is, you can screen them. You'll get letters.
You got to remember, this is not internet.
There's no internet.
And this is all done snail mail.
Yeah.
So
anyways, I put it in. It ran for about 2 weeks in the newspaper. It was a very tasteful little ad. So that, well, you had to be tasteful in those days with the way you worded things. And I think I got 40 letters. I went through them all. I screened them. 10 of them I actually called. 6 I actually met face to face. And I was very discouraged. I was 26 years old. I had a very juvenile or a very naive way of looking at this. I was thinking I was going to meet my knight in shiny armor, and I had a real vision of this, like, whoa, kind of a thing. You have to remember this, when it was 26, did not look like this.
No, you actually had dark hair.
Yeah.
Darker hair.
Yeah. But anyways, the 5 out of the 6 that I met, very discouraging. Okay, for one reason or another. I could go on, but yeah. And by the way, before anybody asks, did I save all the letters? Nope. I destroyed them all. And I really regret doing that, because now, 40 years later, that would be just hilarious to read them. And show the pictures. Yeah, some included pictures. Yeah, not so good. But anyways, I was discouraged. I wasn't going to try this anymore. I was done with it. When the time period was running out, I wasn't going to renew the whole ad or anything like that. On the last day when this was supposed to be done, I got one single letter. Guess who it was from? Now you tell them why you sent me the letter, because you were chicken shit.
Yeah, I wrote the letter, but then I was checking the mail it. And so I went out with a bunch of people from work. It was getting close to Christmas, so I think it was a Christmas celebration. And we had a few drinks, and I was late catching my GO train. The train back to Oshawa. And I ran out of the hotel, and I said, what the hell? Pulled this letter out, and threw it in the mailbox, and didn't think about it again. And then all of a sudden he called me, and I go, oh, shit.
And I debated whether I was going to call him. And I read his letter, and I thought, boring. Sounds like he's an accountant or something. I went, boring. I was very discouraged. But he lived in the area. A lot of the letters I got were from other places. I got letters as far away as Thunder Bay. Now, if you don't know where Thunder Bay is like, well...
That's about a 2-hour plane flight anyway.
Yeah, it's what?
Straight north.
Yes, 2,000 kilometers from... No, it's only 1,000 kilometers, isn't it?
That's on what, Lake Superior?
Yeah, up at the top of Lake Superior. Yeah.
So it's not exactly the warmest place in the world.
It's about the equivalent of us driving to Georgia if we were to turn around and go north and drive to Thunder Bay. Only
thing is, you wouldn't see anything other than moose.
Than a moose or two, yeah.
On the way up there.
Odd bear. Whatever, not the kind of bears we like. But anyways, yeah. So he was in the area. I thought, well, I'll give him a call. Not expecting much. And I wasn't disappointed. I still didn't expect much after I talked to him on the phone. 1-word answers. And I'm going, okay, so
But
I,
it caught me at a bad moment.
oh,
So.
I'm sure it was a bad moment. I think any moment would have been bad. But anyways, we did decide we'd actually get together more from the point of view because we lived not far away from each other. I lived in a town called Whitby, which is next door to Oshawa, where we live now, and he lived in Oshawa. So, I mean, it wasn't like anybody had to travel thousands of miles. So, anyways, he shows up. It's a school night, by the way. And he shows up, and yeah, out the door went, yep, pretty much.
I was a little thinner those days.
Oh, yeah, and you had hair.
Yeah, I had hair, yeah.
Yeah, I looked at him and thought, well, okay, he looks like a bit of a nerd. And in the presence of all of this, I mean, just basking in the angels were singing when I opened the door for him, I'm sure. Yeah, I know I'm being sarcastic. I know he doesn't even have to roll the eyes on that one because you know what he's thinking. So, anyways, he came in, we had some wine, we talked, and I'm thinking, yeah, well, I didn't know anybody else in the area. I mean, I had just recently got my teaching job. Well, I've been teaching for about 2 years at that point. And the only people I knew were teachers, and I didn't have a lot of people to hang out with, just someone to go out for dinner with or go to a show. I wasn't expecting it to become anything more than just a friendship.
Yeah, well, same here.
Yeah.
I was more like I was all my regular friends had gotten married and were having kids, and
Your regular friends.
any of the friends that I had were all either getting married or having kids, and so I wasn't really hanging around with anybody at the time. And I thought, well, it'd be nice to meet a friend anyway. And so that's what happened. And so I met him, and we talked for a bit, and then we ended up hanging around together.
Yeah, we decided we'd get together again, and
we went out for dinner and we
to the show.
went to the show
and all that. And then so that was fine, but this was still not in my mind. I wasn't wanting a relationship here beyond just a friendship. I was still, hoping for the elusive other. And then we decided that summer we'd always wanted to drive out west, like from Ontario to BC and back again. And we decided we would do that. So we did. And we didn't kill each other on the trip, which was a good thing.
We had a really good time.
We had a scream of a time. I still think to this day that was probably our best trip, ever, because we drove. We couldn't afford anything. We were on a shoestring budget, so we stayed in some of the diviest places you could find. And you have to remember, this is now summer of 1984. So you could get a room in a motel for like $25 a night or 22 plus tax. And even a couple of the seedy little places included brekkie. Whether you wanted to eat it or not, that might have been another story. But we had a good time. And like I said, we didn't kill each other. And so there was other things that happened after we got home and things like that. But then eventually it just got to the point where we went beyond, and it lasted. But we didn't move in together until 4 years later when we bought the first house together. He had a house. He had a semi.
Yeah, like it was a semi-detached house. So
Yeah.
there was another half of a house that was attached to my house. So
yeah, so and I said, like we had talked about, we were kind of living with each other on weekends, but at the time I was a good Presbyterian boy and I sang in the choir and my parents were in the choir and everything like that. So I would be going to church every Sunday morning. Have now since then seen the error of my ways. By his influence. But, and he wasn't a churchgoer. He was like sleep till noon, as you well know, kind of person. So even in those days. So I would move into his place on Friday night kind of a thing. And, we'd do stuff on Saturday and whatnot. And then he'd move into my place Saturday, late Saturday. And then we'd do Sunday thing. And that's how things went. We saw each other during the week too, but not as often because you were working in Toronto.
I was working in Toronto and I was putting in quite a lot of overtime a lot of times. And so my days were all work and come home and sleep type of thing.
Well, the first that New Year's in 1984, I remember you were on call or something.
Yeah. And a couple of times, like I'd have to work over Christmas or New Year's or whatever. I'd be on call and I end up having to go in on Christmas Day.
Well, we had a party at my apartment on
Yeah.
New Year's Eve, and
I had one of those suitcase
yeah,
monitor computer things, and I had to hook up to work and do some work on I think it was New Year's Day.
yeah, I think it was New Year's Day that happened.
On one of these little screens that was this big, and it was like all black and white. I don't know. It was pretty hokey.
Yeah. But anyway, so when we decided that we wanted to move in together, I said, well, I don't want to move into your place. Obviously, we weren't going to move into mine because mine was a 2-bedroom apartment in a triplex kind of a thing. And, well, he had a house. So,
Yeah, I owned my property, so.
So there were some new developments going up in our area in Whitby. And in those days, I really wanted to live in Whitby. Whitby was home. I didn't want to live in Oshawa because, well, it's the schwa. Ironically, I've lived in Oshawa more years than I've lived anywhere else now. But anyways, long story short, we looked around. We found a house, a new subdivision. We were able to scrape up the down payment, the whole bit, and we bought it and moved in there. And we lived there for
9 years.
No, 8.
Okay.
We moved in 87. We moved out in 95.
Yeah.
So that's, wait, 87, 3, 5, that's 8. Yeah, 8 years, and bought the house we're in now at that point. So, yeah. I always tell people the first 50 years are the hardest. We're 40 years easy. They get easier over the years, but the first few years, especially once we moved into the house together, there was tension. Yep. But then everybody has that. It's growing pains. It's one thing to, see somebody on a weekend or the whole bit. It's another thing when, you're both going to be in the same location for many hours in the day and stuff like that. But we got over that. Yeah. I think we've had a pretty good relationship over 40 years, though. We've never had a major blowout.
Well, not.
We've had blowouts, but they're
at the beginning.
At the beginning,
into the other house.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, we survived them.
Yeah, and it's gotten easier. Actually, it's become normal to be together. So.
Well, I can't imagine my life different with it. So I mean, if you think about it, we've been together for 40 years. We have been together longer than we were ever together with our parents.
Oh, yeah.
And all that, kind of a thing. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's worked out fine. I'm happy about it. Are you happy?
Relatively.
Okay, yeah. You couldn't throw me a bone, could ya? God. Well, why don't you go out and see if you get a better offer? Well, you probably will. But... but they aren't me. So anyways, that's how we met. Russ says he's been out of jokes for days. Let's see. Brenda's here. Hi, Brenda. Jody's here. Hi, Jody. I'm just looking down here. Heidi's here. Hi, Heidi. Heidi, she's baking pies for tomorrow's festivities. Oh, yeah? Great. Sorry, we're going to George. I can't change my plans now. Just mail me a pie. Thank you. I love pie. Julie says, Stephen, do you have your projects ready for the retreat? Walter, what will you be working on? Well,
I will be working on a quilt.
Yes, Walter is doing a quilt.
Yeah, not that one.
No, I know. I don't have a picture of the one you're doing.
Yeah, and it's a fairly simple one. So I'm going to require some guidance. Anyway, and then I have a shirt cut out if I get bored of that one.
Actually, the quilt he's doing is one of those African fabric kits that we bought at in Halifax in June. You remember the one I had the table runner, and remember the saga about that company or whatever, and how cheap they're on the fabric. But I showed him how to use the stripology ruler because he had to cut all these fat quarters into strips.
Yeah, strips of 2.5-inch strips.
And then he has to sew four. They're all in shades of blues. And then you have to, sew four strips together, and then you have to cut out 8.5-inch squares. And then you have your backing fabric or background fabric as well. And he has to make half square triangles. I told him, I show him how to do that. But you know what he said to me? Well, because Stephanie was talking about doing the same one. I think she has the same pattern and she said she'd help out Walter. And Walter says, I said, do you want me to show you how to do a half square triangle? He says, no, I'll wait till we get to the retreat and I'll have Stephanie show me. Good.
No,
Fine.
you can show me at the retreat. And if I don't like it, I can ask Stephanie's opinion. I always have it's just like cutting out the fat quarters. I was going, you showed me how to cut out the fat quarter one way, and the fat quarter was a different size one side and another size. And I said, well, what happens if I cut it the other way?
I said it probably wouldn't matter because of what you're going to get out of it. But of course, he argued the point, and I said, well, try it that way then. Do it your way, because he's going to do it his way anyways. Whatever. It'll all work out. I'm sure it'll be beautiful. I hate him. Simple as that. Yeah, whatever. Well, you and Stephanie can work on it together. Here you go.
Well, no, she probably wants to work on something.
No, I'll just do my own thing. You just do your thing. Yeah, whatever. With it. So what am I working on? Well, I'll
She'll
show
be
you.
busy fighting fires between
everybody
else.
It could be. Who knows? We'll hope not. So I'm taking two projects with me. I have the pieces in the fabric, everything all ready to go. I've got it all cut out. So this one is the one I'll start working on first. The color collage. It's by Northcott. I've had this for a while. And
I like that. You doing it in those colors?
pretty much. I'm doing it with a line of fabric called Colorworks.
Oh, yeah.
Which is in all of these colors as well. In fact, this is the pattern that goes with that. Is the fabric. It's the same fabric. You can't tell in this picture, but if you look in the center of the squares, I don't know if I can blow it up or not. I might be able to a little bit. Well, it goes pixely. But these squares in the center is what the fabric looks like. And I'd show you the fabric, except that it's all packed and I'm not unpacking it at this point. But yeah, so I'm going to work on that. And if I get bored with this for a while, then I'll maybe start this one. This is a much simpler one. It's basically, it's a Donna Jordan pattern. It's called Diamond Trip. And it's just strips of fabric, essentially, with it. Those aren't the colors I'm using, but it's a jelly roll project. And I had all kinds of, bits and pieces of jelly rolls. I picked out the ones I want to use for this. I've done my pre-cutting for this, so it should go together fairly fast. And as I said, I've got some other things, little tiny blocks left over from this thing I went on at one point in time and picked them up. What do you call it? A road show, a shop hop. Shop hop. That's the word I want. So yeah, so that's what I'll be working on. I don't imagine I'm going to get a heck of a lot done, and it's okay. I don't have a plan when I get to the retreat to have, I have to have this done, that. I want to enjoy the time. And if I want to have a glass of wine, and it's a beautiful location from the pictures we've seen and what Stephanie has told us, and if I want to go away from my sewing machine for a while, and have a, look at the mountains, because apparently we have a great view of the mountains down there, and have a little glass of wine, a bucket of wine. We're taking 2 boxes of wine with us. Yeah, 8 liters of wine. Can't have too much.
Even though the wine's a lot cheaper in the States.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a wine there in a box. We've had it before several times when we've been in the States over the years, called
Franzia
or something, but they cut it with alcohol.
Well, I think they fortify it with alcohol. Anyway, so,
Yeah, I think that's just a polite word for
Yeah.
cut it.
but anyway,
But
so,
they're 5-liter boxes for like 99
yeah,
cents.
for like $15, right? And our 4-liter boxes cost $50.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's no such thing as a cheap drunk in Canada. But anyways, we've got that. So I just going to take it time, talk to people, meet up with them, and try not to bite off their heads if I'm in the middle of something. And they're going, "So what are you doing that? Why are you doing that?" Off my back. No, I'm not going to be like that. Really. No, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to the drive, but right now, given the fact it's a little drizzly here, it's not freezing rain, it isn't snow. Hopefully tomorrow morning when we get up and we get our stuff loaded up and head towards Windsor, the first leg of our journey, it'll be smooth sailing. And once we get past Lexington, I'm sure it'll be even better, less chance of snow at that point. But yeah, so that's what we'll be working on. Now, what are people? Oh, Shady Susan's here. Hi, Susan. Charlotte says, my first quilt was for a silent auction. It sold for $500. That's why I decided to focus on quilting. Okay, well, that's a good experience then. I'd be absolutely flabbergasted if mine went for that kind of money. But these are pensioners. So there's that.
And it is Oshawa.
And it is Oshawa. Yeah. So, if I get anything over, well, I'm not getting it. If they get anything more than $100 for it, I'll say, okay, good job. Well done. Jeff's here. Hi, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Luane says, in Texas, we used to have a bar rag called Twix that we could place ads in for dancing. Reading the ads were so fun. Oh, okay. Or for dating, sorry. Brenda says, my sister-in-law found her second husband by placing an ad. He became ill and passed away. She put another ad in the paper and has been happy for the last 10 years, so it works. Well, okay, Brenda, what does it work? In finding a partner or having them killed? Don't like you. You answered the ad. You will die. Yeah. Just joshing you. I'm just looking here. Heidi says, I have shopped, I have cleaned, I have cooked, I have wrapped, and now I want a beer. I definitely deserve more of a break than a Kit Kat. For sure. Well, Pamela is here, Spellmaker. Who said I love you first? Have we ever said that?
I don't know if we've ever said that.
I said it to you the other night.
Oh, yeah.
And you said it back, and I was shocked. You almost brought me to tears, because usually it's more like, well, fuck off and die. I love you. Yeah, Stephanie says she's bringing her quilt kit too. Sue says, I can cut strips quicker with my stripology ruler than with a die cutter. Actually, Sue, I kind of agree with you. I will use the die cutter when I'm making binding strips and that kind of thing. But if the fabric and everything is, flattened out fine, it's all pressed and whatnot, and if I want to do like 2.5-inch strips or smaller than that, I can just go whiz, whiz, whiz up the stripology ruler as well. And of course, if you care about it, I don't, but others do, there's less waste of fabric as well than using the AccuQuilt. Stephanie is the half square triangle queen. So there you go. I'm a queen in another realm. We'll let her do that. Julie says, great projects, Walter. We're going to convert you to a quilter. Maybe.
I have done a quilt.
He has done one before, yeah. Fallon's here. Hi, Fallon. What will be the diamond color in your quilt, Stephen? It'll be all kinds of colors. I picked random strips, and they're all prints. Many of them are K-facet, so it's going to be bright, bold, and beautiful, which is my aesthetic with it. Denise says, I didn't have time to properly prepare for the retreat before I left for Georgia, so I don't know what I'll end up doing. I brought a few different projects, so who knows? Well, it's good to have a variety.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be prepared.
No.
I mean, it's more, I guess, to get together, I guess.
Like I'm a planner. So, yeah, I have to be prepared. And the one thing too I want to make sure of is that I didn't really have to do any more cutting while I'm at the retreat. That's my goal. I may end up having to cut a few things, who knows, because I'll probably make mistakes and have to recut something. But it's just I find when you go to a retreat, it's easier if you've already got everything pre-cut and all put in little baggies and all labeled for what they are. Because let's face it, you're used to an environment in your home where you've probably got your sewing room set up where it is more conducive to cutting. It's easier. Maybe not, but
Not me.
well, not
I come
you.
downstairs and cut down here.
Well, yeah, but you see, you have a spot down here where you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
spread it out. When you go to a retreat, not always do you have the facilities. Now, some retreats do. They have a huge cutting table there and the whole bit. And I'm
But
not.
then it also depends on how many other people need to cut.
Well,
right?
that's
You
the
know?
other thing.
So like that sometimes is a problem. Like if you're competing with somebody else, so you don't really want to hog the space. So
No. And, there's always one person in the retreat who cuts at the speed of yesterday.
probably me.
Well, maybe. And you're around a bunch of open blades. Don't make me use this on you. Hurry up and get your damn fabric cut. It's my turn next, or I'll slash you, bitch. I will slash you, bitch. We don't want to get into that because we don't want to get blood on the fabric. Russ says it's 18 degrees C here today.
Yeah, I saw that
Briscoe.
today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know it's balmy. It's shorts weather.
Well, I didn't pack shorts, but I did pack one short sleeve shirt. The rest are long sleeve, but I mean, worst case scenario, I can roll up my sleeves.
Everything short sleeve except for one. Lately, ever since I retired, I don't like wearing long sleeves. I'll put on a sweater and if I get cold.
Yeah. Fallon says, are you doing Stephanie and Shannon's virtual retreat too? You better believe it. I signed up.
Not.
No. But Shannon's going to do some foundation
Yeah,
paper.
I know. I had
piece
thought of that. Maybe I should.
You can still probably sign up for it because I don't think there's a limit. Stephanie can say so, but I don't think there's a limit because it's virtual. You got to pay your money though.
Yeah, I know that.
It's $20 American. So it means it's $500
$500 Canadian.
Yeah. Denise says, not having to cut at the retreat was my goal too. I just didn't accomplish it.
Yeah, well, everybody has their own.
Whatever.
Thing. Yeah.
It'll work out.
It's a run bag.
Yep. Patsy says, Russ, there's a storm moving in your direction. Hate to be a spoil sport. Not sure. The weather
there
will be
is
very
a
much
big
colder.
weather front coming through, so there may be some rain we have to drive.
Yeah, somebody recommended to me that I check out on YouTube this guy that does the weather called Ryan Hall, y'all. And I did. Actually, his weather reports are really, really detailed. And like, he really shows you what possibilities are and everything. Actually, it's kind of interesting. Makes you want to become a meteorologist in the next life, kind of a thing. Fallon says, I don't know what 18C means, but here in Texas it's 70 Fahrenheit. Well, 18, Russ did it for the benefit of us Canadians.
Yeah, 18C's 60 something.
Yeah.
Probably 65 or something.
Yeah, close to, well, 18 and 18 is 66, 65 to 66 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, so it's shorts weather.
Yeah. Like,
it gets shorts weather after 15.
Maybe I should pack my shorts and my sandals.
Oh, I brought those shorts we bought, the jersey ones that I got and stuff. That sort of the.
Those are the sleeping shorts.
Yeah, well, you can use them for regular shorts. They got pockets.
Mine hang down to my knees.
So what?
Like I'm a munchkin. Look like all I need is a big lollipop and a hello.
I don't care. I didn't think I'll wear long pants during the summer, so. I didn't really feel like I needed to have shorts, so.
Yeah. Kay's here. The Purple Wall says, Texas is the best place for Christmas, in my humble opinion. Just don't look like
I've only ever been
turkey.
to Texas once.
I've never been to Texas.
And that was in the 80s. That was enough.
I'll be honest, and I don't know if it's that Texas gets a bad rap, but here in Canada, when we hear about Texas, it's usually not good. It's usually
I mean, it was okay when I was there.
Everybody's
in the 80s.
toting a gun and shooting everybody, but I don't know. I am sure that's just media. I am sure that I
I had
hope,
a semi-good, semi-bad experience there. Of course.
but who
I
knows?
went with this my pervy boss.
Oh, you went with a pervy boss. That's
Yeah,
many years
I
ago.
wanted to go all the strip joints. I wasn't into that.
Yeah. Didn't that guy become a woman?
No. That's
Oh, that
that's
pervy
the
one.
guy I went to Florida with.
Oh, yeah. You really don't.
Yeah, I went to Florida with a really hairy Englishman, and later on I found out he was a transsexual. So...
Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you. Maybe you have an influence on
I
people.
said,
I don't know.
well, that's gonna be a pain for him. He has major hair removal problems.
But didn't you say you heard that he'd gone through the whole electrolysis thing? And you said when you had lunch with some of the ladies you used to work with.
I never seen him since he's gone through his transition. But somebody, one of my boss said he had a meeting, and it wasn't until the lady at the end of the table opened her mouth and spoke that he realized that was the guy that he...
Well, that's no lady. Well, it is now. But Denise says, I'm wearing shorts today in Georgia. Spent 3 hours hiking at a disc golf course while my sons played. Short sleeves and shorts in December. I'm happy. A disc golf course. What's a disc golf course? I've never heard of that.
Never heard of that.
Do you not? What do you do?
Discontinued?
They don't. Or do you throw discs around, or what? Is it frisbees with golf? I don't know. I've never heard of that. That's something interesting. Vivian says, so do you feel you are the boss of the two of you? No. Oh, God, no. No. He rules.
I don't rule.
Everybody thinks I'm the one that's the dominant personality here. Oh, God, no. Not even close. I learned a long
time. Yeah, he's got the loud mouth, but I'm...
And as usual, a classic for Walter, pick a finger, here's a suggestion. Yeah. No. He is the boss of me. However,
not always.
Well, sometimes I have to play a few tricks, which is called make him think it was his idea. I mean, I learned a long time ago, if you're going to have a relationship that's going to last, you have to pick the mountain you want to die on. And what I mean by that, quite seriously, is there are a lot of things you could fight over and argue about with somebody else. But you have to take a step back and go, is this really that important that I win? Okay? Yeah, and when I figured that out, it's made life a little easier. That doesn't mean that you don't compromise, or that you give in to everything, but you pick your battle, you decide what's really, really important that you have to take a certain amount of a stand on, and then plan a strategy. It's a bit of a diplomacy thing going on, and it'll just make you much happier. And men are very good at doing that because, like straight men, because they're married to women. And who's the boss of the men? Okay. And I know women are going to say, oh, no, that's not true. Oh, no. No. Now, women are the boss. Okay. But you have to understand the hierarchy. Okay. The hierarchy is this. Straight men are trumped by straight women, which are trumped by gay men, because we can dress you better than you could dress yourself. But there's only one group that's on the very top of the threshold, and that is lesbians, because if you don't agree with them, they will hit you with their truck. Okay? They're 4x4. So that's the hierarchy of life, and you're best to observe that and honor it if you want to have a happy life. What's the expression? Happy wife?
Disc golf is, according to Colleen, is you throw a frisbee into chain baskets.
What? You throw
a frisbee into chain baskets. That's what Colleen says it is.
Okay.
Disc golf is fun. You should play.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Well, that's something I have
I've never heard of
done.
that.
I've never heard of it. You learn something new every day. That's why we do this. We learn things. Oh, Fallon says she misses seeing beautiful snow. I don't miss shoveling it though. Yeah, you know what's really nice is snow on Christmas Eve, just a light dusting. And then Christmas morning, there's just a light dusting of snow, you know, the trees glitter. It looks very pretty. And by about Boxing Day, which is the next day for us in Canada, we call it Boxing Day, it's gone. That's perfect. That's perfect. Kay says, it's where my granddaughter is, and I get to leave the Iowa temps for a week. Oh, in Texas. Okay. And she's also a heat miser. Okay. So frisbee golf disc. Yep. You throw a frisbee in a chain basket. Okay. Oh, Fallon says she knows that trick well. Yeah, make them think it's their idea. You get further. It takes time. It's a plan. You have to work on it over time and subtly drop the
well,
hands.
the problem with me is if somebody throws an idea
that you're domineering
out to me, then I'll say no right away.
Oh, yeah, you're good at no.
And then it'll take, I'll get to think about it a little bit, and I might soften my stance.
Yeah. Catherine's here. Hi, Catherine. Merry Christmas. Bless your journey to Georgia. Thank you, Catherine. Fallon says, and I agree 100% yes. Is this worth arguing about? I say set boundaries from the start. I did that with folding laundry. My military hubby wanted shirts folded a certain way. No, sir. It doesn't sound like you're picking your battles. It sounds to me like you won that one. And Pat says, that's the way all marriages are. I learned at the beginning, 57 years ago, to pick my battles. Yep, pick the mountain you want to die on. They have special discs, Denise says. They'd be insulted for them to be called frisbees. Okay. They play an 18-hole baskets instead of holes course. They love it and have so much fun. Well, it sounds kind of intriguing because I'm not really a fan of golf at all. I get bored very quickly. I just want to go into where you drink afterwards with it. But that might be kind of fun to do, but I've never heard of it in our area. Maybe it exists.
Well, maybe it exists, but I mean, we're not in the frisbee golf.
We're not in that.
We're not in that
group. Luane says, I call it the Lucy system. She always got Ricky to do what she wanted. Yeah, true. What you'll do now, Lucy?
No, he's Lucy. And he has a Lucy.
You make a couple little mistakes, minor, like you use the wrong detergent in the dishwasher and fill the kitchen with bubbles. You may have inadvertently put the white towels in with your black jeans so that your towels are all gray now. But gray goes with everything. Maybe
you walk through a screen door twice, and you walk through a screen door, then you get Walter to fix it, and then you walk through it again the next day.
Well, you shouldn't have used that invisible mesh. That was your fault. Or maybe you try to sew through many layers of denim with a regular quilting needle and wreck your feed dogs. Maybe. I don't know. I could go on. There's a lot of things that happen.
Dry herbs in the microwave.
Okay, so one time I set the microwave on fire, but I was drying herbs. I had a book. It said you could. Just didn't say they were going to be that fun.
Oh my gosh, I did the dishwasher mistake too. What a mess.
Yep. See, I'm not the only person out there. That those are the things. Of course, you don't even know how to load or unload a dishwasher. So
yes, I do.
Well, why don't you do it then?
Yeah, because a dishwasher gets turned on late at night and you unload it early in the morning. I'm not.
And yet I load it and unload it anytime. So yeah, what's that about? Well, Colleen says they have a course in PEI for that type of golf. Luann says I was never told not to use dish soap in a washer. Yeah. Well, I knew you shouldn't. I just thought this package that I got in the mail, a sample, I thought it was for the dishwasher. It was at the time, this is many, many
Yeah,
years
at
ago,
the time, liquid
had just come on the scene.
dishwasher detergent had just come on the scene. We got a package in the mail that said dishwashing liquid, right? And so he thought, oh, this is this new dishwasher
That's what I thought it was.
liquid that you get, and threw it in the dishwasher, and lo and behold, it was wrong stuff.
It was definitely a Lucy moment, and it was during the summer, and I was home because summer holidays from school, and he was at work, and I put it in the dishwasher, shut it up, and I went down that was in our first house. In our first house, that's where I had my computer and everything. I went downstairs to work on something. And about an hour later, I came up and I opened up the door to the basement at the top of the stairs, and there were bubbles up to my waist. The whole kitchen was filled with bubbles. And I went, oh my God, what do I do now? And it's not like it's like wet or anything. It's like bubbles. So our house where we lived at that point in time had a raised basement. So our kitchen was basically a floor up from the ground, and we had a balcony off of it. So I opened up the balcony doors and I kind of scooped all the bubbles out the door, kind of a thing. Well, it was kind of a windy day. And then I looked out the front window of the house, and there's all these like big, huge bubble clouds, going up the street, sticking to people's cars and houses. And I just pulled the blinds and hid for a while. And then when he came home, I went, well, I'll never guess what. I knew he was going to say, well, you're an idiot. How could you be so stupid? Now you know the why.
Doris Day. Somebody says it was a Doris Day episode.
Yeah, that was for sure. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then when I set the microwave on fire with the drying the herbs, I had been drying herbs all afternoon because we had a huge big garden, and we had a lot of herbs in it. And I got this book, said drying your herbs in your microwave, and it worked for everything. And I was going along. I've spent the day drying herbs in the microwave. Then I hit the summer savory. Nothing in the book said that this stuff is highly flammable. I put it in for only a couple of minutes, and I turned my back on it for a second, and then I looked over and went, oh my God, there's flames inside the microwave, and all this smoke is coming up through there. So I shut off the microwave, and then I opened the door, and all this smoke came out, and I went, oh shit. So I cleaned everything up. I got, it blackened the outside of it. It didn't really burn anything in the microwave, but it blackened it, and I had it all cleaned up. And he comes home, and I was saying, I'm not going to tell him about this. He walks in the door and he goes, did you burn something in the microwave? I went, no, why do you ask? Because, and he opens up the microwave door because it's all black inside. And I went, Ricky, yeah. Needless to say, I've never done it again. Okay. I do learn from my mistakes. Judy said, all right, backing up. I'm just trying to catch up here.
Your dishwasher mistake was a mess.
It says broken many stand mixers and crock pots too. Okay. Haven't done that.
No.
Kay says, I thought that was just a TV thing. Oh no, it's real. It's very real.
That's probably where they got the idea.
Yeah, maybe. Fallon says, that's exactly what got me to Stephen. But for me, it was moving into a new apartment years ago. They had sample packs when we moved in. Ugh. Yep. Damn them. See, it wasn't our fault. It was the fault of advertisers. Judy says, I've always have to unload and load the dishwasher. And yes, I have used regular dish soap in the dishwasher too. We call it the Doris Day episode. See, I'm not the only one. It's not just me. Other people have made this mistake too. Okay, where'd the thumb come from? It's on my thumb.
Yeah.
All right. Denise says, guess I need to go. Safe travels. I'll see you on the 28th. Okay, Denise, we'll see you then.
Yeah.
Bye. So Luann says, so that's when you call over some hot guys and have a suds party. Okay, Luann, you've got a very active imagination.
Yeah.
Like what you're thinking. Yeah, it was before
It was before we had video.
video. Yeah, like, or the ability to do what we
Yeah.
do today. Yeah. I mean, if you want comedy, watch me make Dutch pancakes. That's on one of my videos. And I didn't intend that to be a comedy, but apparently everybody finds that hilarious. So one of
I
my
thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, well, everything went wrong in that, and I have it all recorded. And I didn't do it on purpose. That was not my intent. So, it was completely unscripted and, yeah, just me screwing around things. Pat says, that's so funny. Sounds like a Lucy moment with bubbles. Oh, it was. Sue says, I baked an oatmeal raisin cookie in my first microwave and the raisins caught on fire. Didn't hurt anything, but the smell was horrible. Well, when I got my first microwave and I was still in the apartment, Walter came over for dinner.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was thinking of that.
Yeah, well, tell them what that
No,
was.
I came in, he had a microwave, and he thought, well, you cook a meal in it, right? So he's going to make beef stroganoff. I think he used hamburger.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, anyway, so he's making beef stroganoff, and
Hamburger
it
helper.
was disgusting.
Well, the color it tasted fine.
It was gray. The meat was gray, and the sauce was white, and it didn't really have a whole lot of flavor to it, and it was edible. Yes, but it was never made again.
It's not like Walter hasn't had some cooking fails.
Yes, I know, but I meant that was pretty
well. That was when microwaves were a thing then, the starting of a thing.
Yeah,
so,
gray hamburger.
Oh, but let's see. Okay, Felon, see you later. Have a great Christmas. Deb says nuked eggs equals a big mess in the microwave. Oopsie. Tell them about your.
When I was a kid, my mom bought a microwave when I was about 16 or 17. First microwave, a man our radar range, right? And it said in there not to cook an egg in its shell because it could pop, right? And I was always into experimenting with things. And I thought, well, what do you mean by pop? I don't know about that, right? So anyway, so I nuked this egg, and I can't remember how long I had it in there, and it was in its shell, and I pulled it out, and it was on the counter, and I went and touched the very top of it, and all of a sudden it went bang, and there was egg everywhere. There was egg on the ceiling. There was egg all over the cupboards. I mean, I didn't know one egg could go so far, right? My parents were out shopping at the time. And I'm going, holy crap, I got to clean this up. Anyway, I cleaned up everything. I cleaned and cleaned and cleaned and cleaned and cleaned. And I was pretty darn sure that I got every single drop of egg from everywhere, right? But what I didn't anticipate is that the egg shot between the cupboards, inside the cupboards and the inside up there, because when my mother opened the cupboard door, there's egg all inside the cupboard door. And I'm going, holy shit, how'd that? So I had to admit to it.
So you see, Walter pulled a Lucy too. Yeah, with that. And I just realized.
And I know I've never done that again.
No. And when I cook eggs in the microwave, and I make poached eggs in the microwave. It's very easy. But what I do is I put them in a little glass dish with a little water in the bottom, crack the egg into it, and I'll give it a little poke with a toothpick or a fork just into the yolk. Not enough to make it all run out, but just to give it a hole. And I put saran wrap over the top of it. And then I cook them and they'll come out. They turn out well. In fact, that's how I make my eggs Benedict. I do my eggs Benedict in the microwave, including making the hollandaise sauce in the microwave. And it works and it tastes just as good as if you used a double boiler and, did the whole thing with, your butter and your tarragon and everything like that. And it works. And it's good. And here's my proof. Do you like my eggs Benedict?
Yes.
There you go. Okay. If Walter says it's good, then I'm not lying about it. But There was something there that got me thinking there for a minute when you're talking about the blow-ups and the whole bit. And yep, that was another seniors moment. Can't remember that. So, yes, I've read about that, Kay. Yeah, you can be you can harm yourself with an exploding egg. Believe it or not, it's the shell.
Oh yeah, the other thing with the shell is that it disintegrated. The shell disintegrated so bad that it didn't look like there was a shell in it.
Yeah, but you that could blow up, get in your eyes or
Yeah,
whatever, that kind of stuff. So
I mean, I was lucky.
yeah.
It didn't do anything to me.
And Judy says, my dad worked for Roper's when they started making microwaves. He brought one home. He attempted to cook a turkey in it. Only time he ever cooked anything. Yeah,
Yeah, it wouldn't probably come out very good.
But I mean, when I first got my first microwave, I was trying all kinds of different things. And and I remember in those early years too with it, there were things you could buy to make the food you were cooking look more appetizing. Browning agents or something you put on, which was basically just liquid food coloring or something for it. Yeah. We've come a long way, baby, on that. I mean, I can't live without my microwaves, but
you don't use it.
But I don't use it for, you learn over time. Yeah. Ooh, that sounds dirty, Deb. Yup. Poke the yolk. Luann says I have a omelet maker, pour 2 mixed eggs in, cook in the microwave. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, I'll cook eggs sometimes for sandwich in there and stuff like that. But
I've done an omelet in a microwave. But usually because it's not really an omelet per se. I put it in a little ceramic dish kind of a thing that I've sprayed with cooking spray, and then I mix up a couple of eggs or 3 eggs and put in like some cheese and some sliced up peppers and onions and cover it in saran wrap and let it cook in the microwave, and then I'll flop it out and throw it in a tortilla shell, and it's called breakfast burrito surprise. In fact, we had something like that this morning. No egg in it, though, the one we had this morning. We had leftover stuff from last night's dinner in it. But anyway, so now we're talking about stupid people tricks, okay? Stupid human tricks. Okay, here's one for you. Okay. Now, I don't know what your feelings will be on this. It's created a whole lot of discussion on that app we've talked about before, Neighbors.
Nextdoor.
Okay, I always want to call it Neighbors. Nextdoor. Which is, I'm sure in your areas you probably have this app as well, supposedly so you can sort of meet your neighbors and create an online community with people you live near and the whole bit. Mostly it's just people doing stupid things and saying stupid things.
Mostly it's realizing how stupid all your neighbors are. But...
Yeah. Well, here's the controversial issue. This one person decided that they wanted to give the garbage men a gift for Christmas. Okay, well, the thought was there. That was very nice of them. Except you need to think about this. What they did was they had like a couple of, I don't know if they were gift certificates or a gift.
Gift certificates in a Christmas bag.
In a Christmas bag. $40 worth or something.
Actually, $80.
It was 2. One for, I guess they have 2 garbage. We only have 1 garbage man. But anyways, and what they did was they put them on top of their garbage bins.
Their garbage bins upside down.
Upside down. That were on the curb of the road where your garbage usually is. Well, they have a Ring camera or something, and they posted the video. Some woman is driving by in a car, and then you see her go past this person's driveway, and then she slows down and stops, and she backs up. She gets out of her car, walks over, looks at the garbage cans that are turned upside down, obviously sees that there's something there. She kind of takes a couple of quick looks around, picks them up, gets in her car, drives away. She stole them. Okay? Well, okay. The initial impression of that is you can't trust anybody. That is nasty. And she's not driving a horrible car. She's driving a really nice car. Slid off that shiny head, eh?
Yeah.
She was driving a really nice car. So, basically, did she need to steal? Okay, so there was this person was outraged, of course, and talking about, you can't trust people, blah, 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 and the whole bit. Well, other people started to agree with her, of course, but then others didn't. And I put in there and I says, well, really, maybe you should have thought about this. Like, wouldn't it have been better and safer if you'd gone out when the garbage man came by and gave them the gift personally rather than leaving it out there? Because people see stuff. First of all, people see anything at the side of the road. They feel that's the universal symbol for, I don't want this anymore. You want it. You got a use for it. Take it. Now, of course, it was in a Christmas bag. So
And supposedly labeled with
their names. I mean, I think this person was just a little too friendly to the garbage bin, if you know what I mean. But whatever. But then they went on in this long paragraph about, well, people, the whole bit.
Well, not only that, in this day and age, you not only have people that take stuff off the end of your driveway if you accidentally leave it there, and you've got people, porch pirates, that come around and steal stuff from your porch.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, it is a sad comment upon our modern day society, isn't it? When you can't trust people, when people will be that low to do something like that. Okay, I get that. But you also have to take some responsibility for leaving this out there for would-be thieves to take. You have tempted them. Yeah. So, well, this person's going on and on about it. And other people are saying, well, you should have been a little more clever about this. I wrote a comment and I said, okay, well, I guess you'll probably learn not to do that again, right? Well, this person just went off all about it, going on, well, yes, I'm going to do it again because, it's a sad state of affairs in our world. Okay. And I wrote, well, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat, or learn from their mistakes are doomed to repeat it. And that was the last thing I wrote.
And then you got they said you were
that I was horrible individual. They turned on me at that, like that, because, I didn't have any faith in mankind. I was being very sarcastic and I was being very, very, what's the term? I was being very, I can't think of the term right now. I'm having a lot of problem. I don't know that. I don't think I'm getting good reception on these antenna here for brainwaves. But anyways, well, some other people jumped into the fray as well, and some of them were defending her, some of them were defending me, and then others had other things going, yeah, like, you are the stupid idiot doing something like this. I'm sure you had good intentions.
Not only that, who knows, the garbage guy might have come around and not even figured that there was a gift there for him.
Well, he may not be allowed to take gifts.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He may not be asked, and who knows? There could be something nasty in those gifts.
I get it. If you want to put it at the most base level and say, okay, and you want to be kind, well, that was a really nice thing for you to do. But you got screwed because you did a stupid thing. You trusted people.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, you can't in this modern age.
She was probably a porch pirate, and he saved her the trip to the porch.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
But anyway, Teresa, apparently the garbage had not been collected yet.
No.
So they weren't throwing any garbage out, so they turned their bins upside down and put the gift on top.
Yeah, so the story goes with that. But I mean, really? So I feel sorry for the person, but I also don't. And the person said, well, I'm going to do the same thing again next year. And this other guy piped in and he goes, 6 a.m., gift out. 6:01, gift gone by porch pirate. Like, in other words, really, you're setting yourself up for failure on this one. What are people saying here? Oh, Billy says, I thought you were leaving for Georgia Day. Nope, tomorrow. Christmas Day, we're leaving. Our original plan was not to leave until Boxing Day, which is the 26th of December here in Canada, because I know Americans, you don't have Boxing Day. But then we thought we couldn't be sure about the weather and everything, and
we wanted to shorten the drive to
Lexington.
Drive, so.
Yeah, with that. So that's why. Gail says, can you do a sauce in a video? No, I can't, Gail, but I can tell you how to make it. I am assuming you mean hollandaise. All you need is 2 egg yolks, a little bit of water, like half a teaspoon, maybe. A little salt, just a pinch. And this is for doing two, for making for two, okay? Eggs Benedict. And just a couple of drops of lemon juice, bottled or fresh, your choice. That's all you need. And so what you do is you put the egg yolks in a little glass dish, add a little bit of water, add your salt, add your lemon juice. Oh, and a little bit of melted butter, about quarter cup of melted butter for this amount. You'd have to increase the amounts if you want to make more of this.
Quarter cup's quite a lot. That's like 4 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of butter in holiday sauce.
Right.
Whatever. To taste.
Okay.
Whatever. Do you make this? Have you ever made it? No, you haven't.
Never made it.
Well, so be quiet. And you put it in the microwave. Put it for 20 seconds. Take it out. Stir it up. Then put it in for 15 seconds. Take it out and stir it up. Now, if it looks like it's going to curdle on you, don't despair. Use a little hot tap water. Just a few drops. Stir that up. It'll all mix up fine. And then nuke it for another 10 seconds. That's it. That's all there is to it.
There's probably a recipe online.
Yeah, there is. Just do microwave hollandaise sauce. You'll find that's where I got it. And you'll find lots of them. And that's basically all there is to it. It's really easy, really fast. And what I do is I'll often, while my eggs are poaching in the microwave, I will make up the sauce. And if the sauce goes a little cold, I'll just reheat it, no more than 10 seconds on it, and pour it over the eggs, and away you go. It works beautifully. Not a problem with it. So Teresa, so the gift was an upturned garbage can, which means the pickup had already gone, but still sad. No, well, Walter explained, no, they had purposely turned them that way to put it on. I don't know.
The guy probably would have driven by if he saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that might have been too. Could have. Yeah, there's so many things that could go wrong with that scenario.
Yeah.
You know, really.
What makes sense to one person does not make sense to another person.
Yeah, I've seen those glitter bombs and ink bombs,
Yeah.
things that people leave too, as well.
Yeah.
Wayne says, used kitty litter in Amazon boxes are great. Well, okay, if it's a big problem, yeah, I could see it. So here's another thing, though, that I think is, now maybe some of you do this, and if you do, I'm sorry, because I'm calling it stupid. I just learned about this. I know I'm probably a little late to the table on this one. Have you heard of celebrating something called Festivus?
Festivus.
Festivus. Festivus. Apparently, on the 23rd of December, people have this aluminum pole that's on a stand, so it looks like your Christmas tree without branches, that they set up. And then you have dinner with family or friends, and during the dinner, you tell them your beef with everybody at the table. I guess you go around. And then you wrestle. The strong man thing. Who can pin the host down to the floor first? Okay, where did this come from? Seinfeld. Apparently, I did some research into this because I didn't believe this is a thing. Apparently, it is a bit of a thing, only for stupid people. But on an episode of Seinfeld, they did this. It was a comic thing. But the writer, one of the writers for Seinfeld, I guess his father did this, I don't know, as a joke or something, back in the mid-60s or something with his family. So this writer decided in an episode of Seinfeld, a Christmas episode, that he would put this in for comedy with it. And if you do a search for Festivus on YouTube, that's what you'll find. You'll find the Seinfeld stuff. I didn't find anywhere real people were doing it. However, my sister does it, apparently. So, yeah.
Your sister lives in the past.
Well, yeah. Well, whatever. I mean, my sister's a real comedian, so she probably thinks this is as funny as hell. And she loves Seinfeld and other old shows. Personally, I think it's kind of stupid, but you know, whatever turns your crank, I suppose. Now there's probably about 12 people on here that all do it. Um, let's see. Yep, that's what I said, Teresa. It came from Seinfeld. Yep. Um, uh, yep, Seinfeld made up holiday. Yep, that's what I discovered. George Dad came up with it. Yep. Um, that's where my brother got Happy Festivus. Couldn't figure out where he got that saying. Yep. So you learn something crazy all the time. 'Tis the season, isn't it? The crazies are out there.
Teresa
Yep.
says it could be a good drinking game. Well, that would fall into what your sister might be into.
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Gail says it's called Festivus for the rest of us. Yeah. That's stupid. All I can say is it's just stupid. Could be dangerous too if you're wrestling people. I don't know. No, an ad came up. I just saw one. I was going to say I haven't seen many ads today, but then that's because I'm looking at that screen and not this screen. So whatever. Yeah. So Georgia, here we come. So we will be next week. There won't be the regular videos that we usually post, of course, because we'll be in Georgia. But that doesn't mean that we won't post something. Everything depends upon the internet connection we have there and technology and everything. I am hoping that we'll be able to do one or two lives of one sort or another. We do have 5 of us that are YouTube creators going, so we do plan to do one from the creator's point of view of it. And I'll be taking some video while I'm there, but I mean, I'll probably forget to take a lot of video because I'll be too busy sewing. And I'm hoping to take some video of the quilt store we're going to that's Stephanie has arranged to be open just for us because they're closed during Christmas, but they have agreed to open for us. And yeah, I'll try and remember to take some video there if the people who own the store don't mind me doing that. Maybe even get a chance to talk to them as well a little bit about their store. So yeah, we have plans for that, but who knows what will happen because I don't know for sure. So anyways, I got thinking, we did talk a little bit on So Chatty about projects for next year. And I talked about my binder and my notes and things for that. But in a broader sense of what we would like to accomplish next year, well, one thing, travel again. Of course, you know, we have a trip to Australia planned. When we get back home, my travel agent is going to be working on it more steadily to get that all together. I want to do more with Lucy. I've pretty much got down the edge-to-edge design, so now it's time to move into customization, but using the computerized program. And I really haven't done much with that, so I need to try that because, I mean, hey, this machine does a lot more than I've been using it for, so maybe it's time to figure out what that is. Somebody asked me the other day if we're planning to go to the Edmonton Quilt Show in June, which is the Canadian Quilt Show. That's what we went to in Halifax in the spring this year. We haven't really discussed it. That was like we'd have to fly there, of course.
Yeah, like we were originally going to go to the Edmonton one in 2020, and then it got canceled because of COVID, and we had booked a flight then, and we were able to cancel all our trip and get our money back. But I'm not sure if we want to do that again this coming year or not.
Yeah, we don't know yet. That's up in the air with that, whether we're going to that or not. We may be getting rid of something in the summer when the weather comes that we've had for years and years. No, I'm not Walter.
Our hot tub
Our hot
or
tub.
spa or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, our hot tub's about 25 years old. And yeah, in the last couple of years, we've had to spend some significant money on it to fix leaks and things like that. And we don't really use it anymore.
And it sprung another leak just recently.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling it's toast. So
well, it doesn't owe us anything. We got 25 years out of it and everything. But the novelty's worn off. And so we may have to call somebody up. There's places you can call that will come and, you know, extract your hot tub for you and take it away for a price. That would give us a whole opportunity to redesign underneath the deck and make an outdoor living room under there. Like we sort of have that now, but other
A
plans.
bigger size.
Bigger, more, I don't know,
Elaborate.
posh
Yeah.
or something. I don't know. But that's just, we don't know. That's just thoughts. And then, of course, and really have to do it this year, we have to declutter.
Yeah.
We can't get anything more in our kitchen cabinets, and we've got stuff in there that we never use. It's going to the Goodwill. We need to reorganize the kitchen cabinets and everything like that. Be nice to actually do kind of a faux upgrade, like maybe new knobs, handles on the kitchen cabinets. Walter would like to kind of do a little refacing on them. And don't anybody say paint them. No. No, I'm sorry. I have seen painted kitchen cabinets.
No, we'll
And
have to
no.
get new ones rather than getting them repainted.
Yeah. Our cabinets actually are in pretty good shape considering they're 28, 29 years old. But they need a cleanup. Like, need a refreshing of something like that. And I really don't want to drop $40,000 or $50,000 redoing the kitchen. Because, kitchen's the most expensive room in your house pretty much to redo. And there's other things in this house that we like to do, like new carpeting, more windows, new windows, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, who knows what next year's going to bring. But, isn't this the time of the year when you get all these thoughts about all these things you want to do? Then then after New Year's is over and the whole bit, you can look at it and go, don't know. Don't feel like doing that now. So, whatever, we will see, but that's the plans for that. Teresa says, careful driving, guys. Canada's a travel warning for LGBTQ. Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, well, we won't do anything that the youngsters do, so
no, and that's bullshit.
That's
anyways.
more like anybody that it is bullshit because we lived through the 80s and the 90s. I'm sure it's no different than any other time.
We're a couple of tough queens, so it doesn't matter. Actually, that warning is more out for people who are transgender.
Yeah.
And if they go into a bar, like a straight bar or someplace like that, and they are being very flamboyant about it, then they're asking for trouble. That could happen here in our country too. It's just that the difference between our country and the States is that we have built in the Human Rights Code that transgender people of the LGBT community are protected by the law, and it's considered hate crime, hate actions, all that kind of stuff, and there are severe penalties for it. Whereas in certain parts of the United States, there is not. But we're not going down there with megaphones and going, hello, people, we're gay. Woo. No, we don't do that on a good day. So, no. So, anyways, and you have to remember something, too. We're not idiots when it comes to this. This has been our life. We have lived this. We're aware.
We've been to parts where they can hang you and...
Yes, and kill you for it. We know.
We've been to Egypt.
Yeah, we've been around. But thanks for for thinking about us, though, Teresa. Yeah. That's nice of you. Just backing up here. Stephanie says, Teresa, don't worry. I wouldn't let anyone hurt them. Yeah, we have Stephanie. She'll be our militant fag hag. With it. She'll take them down for us. No, Eva says the internet should be great. North Georgia College there. Okay. More plants. Yeah. Yeah, we've been having a bug problem lately. Little gnats. They like the pepper plants. So we're actually starting some new pepper plants. Walter got rid of the other ones
because they were
infested.
They were so badly infested, I couldn't get rid of them.
Yeah.
So I got rid of the plants.
Yeah. And Luane says he prefers a hot tub as part of my bathtub. Nice jet shooting at water and bubbles. Yep. Um, Deb says, can you just replace the cupboard doors? Well, you could. It's still going to cost you. And that's not necessarily not a possibility with it. We
I mean,
have
the cupboard doors, I personally don't mind them.
no, the cupboard doors are in good shape. The lower cabinet doors near the sink and that need to be, you know, whatever Walter would do. What would you do? Sand them and
I would sand them and
restain them, sort of a thing,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. And I think with some, you know, a little bit more updated hardware on them, you know, that would refresh it anyways. So, Melissa's cleaning out her house as well. Decluttering is on top of my list. Yep. Deb says, this is the time of year when I say we aren't spending any money next year. Yeah, how's that working out for you? Brenda says, safe travels, so lots, and have fun. Well, we will, Brenda. So anyways, on that note, I think it's time to say goodbye. I'm sure people have lots of things to do tonight. I don't know what we're doing. Continuing getting ready for, well, I'm pretty much ready.
I've got some things I still need to do. So,
but you'll do that when I'm in bed, asleep, because that's when you do it. We don't have to leave that early tomorrow morning because we're just going to Windsor. I was thinking Windsor was about 5 hours away, but it's more like about a little over 3.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll get there and that'll be fine. We're having a really lovely Christmas dinner, right? Sandwiches. Sandwiches and probably beer or wine or whatever with it, unless we find some place that's for some reason it happens to be open on Christmas Eve, but or a Christmas Day.
Well, there's the was it the service station or whatever, just before you hit Windsor, the
gas booth
on routes.
Oh yeah,
well, and they're supposed to be open.
Oh, we can probably pick up a few things there too.
Yeah,
or whatever. But whatever, that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, so stay tuned for maybe some videos later next week. That'll come up. I may even do something tomorrow once we get in the hotel room. I don't know. We shall see. Yeah. We shall see. So I hope you have a really great Christmas if you celebrate Christmas Day. If you celebrate something else, I hope you have a good whatever else Festivus. You celebrate. Or enjoy your Festivus. You know, get out there and insult people with all of that. So yeah, have a good one. And we'll see you all again real soon. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.